Well, we're back. Kind of. It was a while ago. I tried doing a TNA Journey of Wrestling save on this YouTube channel, and well, that quickly died off. Safe to say that was a bit unsuccessful, but I am determined to get something like that done on this channel, and so I'm gonna just restart, and this time we're gonna do it with modern WWE. So there is a lot to cover here. First off, I don't really watch current WWE week to week, so some things I'm a bit out of the loop on, especially when it comes to people in NXT. And the other big thing that I have now done is, if I go to brands, it's only Raw and SmackDown. No NXT. All of the NXT titles are retired. It's all over. I've tried doing 3 brands before on some other things, and it is a lot to handle, and so I'm only going to do 2 brands, Raw and SmackDown. However, there's going to be a lot of people in each brand. There's probably going to be around there could be 100 people in each brand, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. Now, the only people who are staying on each brand are all the champions. Everybody else up for grabs. And this is something that I've also done on drafts before and other saves I've done. When it comes to the draft, because I'm going to do a draft, I'm only drafting people individually. And by that I mean I'm not drafting entire tag teams, entire factions, nothing like that. The only way the tag teams and factions can stay intact is if they get lucky and get drafted to the same brand. Otherwise, we could be seeing every single tag team and every single faction being broken up. But that also allows me to be a lot more creative with what I can do with everybody remaining. And yes, this does mean that everybody from NXT will be now on Raw and SmackDown, and while I haven't yet figured out which events are going to be for which brand, I'll figure that out in a bit. And of course here, the upcoming event is Bad Blood, which definitely is going to be a branded event. I think really the only ones that aren't going to be branded are the big 4, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, but everything else I'm going to have to divide up, but I'll figure that out off camera. Also off camera, I'm going to be doing the draft just because there's you can see here, there's 200 people worth drafting. It's a lot of people to draft, and I just don't want to bore you, sit through an entire draft. But here we have the random picker. As you can see, all of the names are here, and that's how I'm going to do it. That is how the draft is going to be conducted. That's pretty much all this video is going to be, is a draft video. Next video is when I'll actually get into booking and kind of figuring out, okay, what can I actually do with all these different rosters and broken up tag teams and stuff like that. So that's what this episode is going to be. So I'm going to do the draft, and then after doing the draft, I'm going to look over both brands rosters, and then from there, well, we'll see. Also, one other quick thing, just gotta do this real quick. Yeah, all right, now we're ready. And with that, the draft has been completed. Every single person was drafted. I mean, not like the managers and retired people, but all the wrestlers have been drafted. So we can go to the brands here, and as you can see, 102 for each brand. That is going to be a lot for me to handle, but I do like bigger rosters, so I'll make it work somehow. So as you can see, this is the Raw brand. I'll go a bit slow just so you can see everybody that is on here. But yeah, Raw is a stacked brand, and probably more stacked than SmackDown, which is kind of how it is in real life as well. And I did have to break up a lot of tag teams and factions for this, so that's quite nice. As you can see, scrolling down, there's still this is a loaded roster, and I'll be able to use this roster on the very next event, which is Bad Blood, which is now a Raw event. So also while I drafted, I did designate different shows for different brands. As you can see, this is all the NXT people, no longer a part of NXT. Everyone is now on the main roster. And yeah, that is the entire roster for Raw. As you can see, the events for Raw will be Elimination Chamber, Backlash, Money in the Bank, and Bad Blood, but I'm going to be renaming some of these. So for instance, Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank are going to be totally different things. I'm probably going to have, I don't know the exact plan. I might want to do Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. And then for something like Elimination Chamber, I'd like for there to be a way for both brands to still do that while, not having a designated pay-per-view for it, since this isn't going to be something that Raw and SmackDown will do. So I'll figure that all out. And then for SmackDown, I'll scroll down slowly so you can see the whole brand. So I definitely think when it comes to the main eventers and stuff like that, like top stars, Raw easily has SmackDown beat. But I do really like SmackDown's roster as well. I also think that kind of gives me a lot more wiggle room when it comes to SmackDown because now there's a lot more people that I need to push. There's a lot more openings at the top of the card on SmackDown, and that's going to allow me to work with a ton of different people and elevate them. So that'd be cool. Yeah, 102 people for each brand is crazy. I think the most I've ever done on each brand is maybe like 60 to 70. And that is a lot of people like in itself. But 100 people is crazy. But crazily enough, I think I can do it because I am that crazy. The way I book on Journey Wrestling is chaotic. I know, we didn't really get to see any of that in the TNA save. But I feel like I'm going to have a lot more interest in doing this than TNA. I feel like I don't know. I'm a lot more familiar with these people. Well, maybe not these people at the bottom of the list who are just NXT people, but I'm a lot more familiar with WWE's roster, and so I feel like I'm gonna have a lot more fun with it, especially since there's a lot more people to work with too. But yeah, that is the whole roster. Their events are Stand and Deliver, which is an NXT event, King and Queen of the Ring, Payback, and Crown Jewel. So again, something like King and Queen of the Ring, I'm gonna rename that, do something different, so it's not something completely exclusive to just one brand. I want to be able to do something like that maybe for both brands. There's gonna be a lot of renaming, a lot of retooling of the pay-per-views, but it's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna be a lot more, well, hopefully, a lot more clear and not complicated, although the booking and the matches and storylines and all that, that's definitely gonna be complicated just because there's so many people, but I am excited for it. This is definitely going to be a challenge for me, and I'm excited to be challenged. It's going to make me be creative in my booking, and I think I'm pretty good at booking, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that is going to do it for this first episode of the new Journey of Wrestling save that is going to replace the TNA save. I'm still going to include this in the same playlist as I did with all the other previous Journey of Wrestling videos I did, so make sure to check out that playlist to catch up, I guess. I mean, this is the first episode, but more episodes will definitely come out. I'm not going to abandon this like I did TNA. I'm really going to try and do the best I can with this. So yeah. Oh wait, yeah. The teams and factions. So as you can see, trust me, this list was a lot bigger as before. There's been a lot of tag teams that have been broken up, but there's still some that are here. Obviously, these were all pre-made by the creator of this scenario, which is the modern day scenario. And they do a lot of work. As you can see, there's a lot of companies in this, so they do a ton. But those are all the tag teams. As for the factions, really only two. I only got rid of 2 factions, but a lot of the factions ended up having at least like 1 or 2 people leaving them. As you can see with like Chase U, now half of it is gone. Same with Legado. But for the most part, the factions actually stayed pretty much intact. I mean, really, like I said, only like 1 or 2 people ended up leaving all of them. So that's not bad. But yeah, that officially is going to do it. I need to show the tag teams and factions first. But yeah, like I was saying before, let me know down below just any ideas really, and what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.